Bless up, bless down on Mastermind Statements. Make sure you comment, make sure you like, make sure you hit the notification bell, make sure that you subscribe. Today, I'm going to talk about these plane crashes that are involving United States airplanes and craft. Is it cyber warfare that's going on? Is it another country that's controlling this? Is it strategically purposeful that the media is now starting to show more plane crashes that have already been going on? For instance, they've already been happening, but they didn't air them nationwide onto national TV. What is really going on? And there's another thing I'm adding too. Are UFO aircraft being involved with some of these planes going down? For instance, the one in DC where you have the Black Hawk helicopter crashing into a passenger plane. Was that alien aircraft? Let's take a look at a couple of these videos. Let's go.
Take a look here at just some of this video coming into the Live Now from Fox Newsroom here as new details on a story we brought you as breaking news Monday. This involves the plane belonging to Motley Crue frontman Vince Neil, involved in a deadly crash with another aircraft at Scottsdale Airport. Again, this is over in Arizona, right there outside of Phoenix. Danielle Miller with our Fox 10 Phoenix team joining us now live with more information and what we know here. Good morning, Danielle. A lot of this here kind of developing over the last, I would say, 12 hours or so.
It is. Good morning, Josh. And I can say that the Scottsdale Airport is now back open. The airport was closed for about 6 hours yesterday after this crash happened as crews continue to investigate. We're on the east side of the airport right now, and we can actually see those planes that were involved in this deadly crash. You have the one there that's on its belly. The landing gear is what is said to be at fault here for this crash of that plane. The front end of that plane completely ripped off. We can't really see any damage to the other plane that was hit. It is pretty dark out here, but from what we can see, those are the two involved here. So we do know that Motley Crue, they have shared a statement on their social media platform from Vince Neil's legal team confirming Neil was not on the plane, but two pilots and two passengers were on board. We know that it was incoming from the Texas area to touchdown here in Scottsdale, and the landing gear was malfunctioning, and that is what caused this crash out here. TMZ is reporting those passengers aboard that plane were Neil's girlfriend and her friend. They're said to be in the hospital with injuries. And in a post that was later deleted, the band had said that it was the pilot that was killed. Vince Neil's Learjet 35A was flying in from Austin, Texas, when it crashed into this Gulfstream G200 business jet parked on the ground here at the Scottsdale Airport. All of this happened just before 2:40 p.m. Monday afternoon. We did speak with the airport. Take a listen.
Our thoughts and prayers for the individuals on the aircraft. It's certainly a tragedy that occurred. The fire department, the police department, airport operations did a fantastic job responding to the incident immediately, foaming down the aircraft to prevent additional fire.
So my question is, what is the mindset in 2025 going forward? If there's supposedly so many crashes that are going on, and condolences to the families, RIP to anyone that has, perished in these particular plane crashes. But the engineers, doesn't the mindset shift and say, we need to have some type of sensors? Like, how is that landing gear not deploying? That's crazy. How is your landing gear not deploying? Obviously, the plane is flying just fine, but on the last route, because you do have to come down. The plane does have to land. It does have to come down. How is the landing gear not deploying? Is there not any type of sensor on a plane in 2025? And I don't care if these planes are older planes, because guess what? Just like a recall with a vehicle, like a car or SUV or whatever, there's recalls to go and get retrofitted with newer technology. If I was flying a plane and I valued my life and the passengers' lives, I would be interested in getting some type of sensor that told me way prior before landing if the landing gear was malfunctioning or not. There's something wrong with it. I don't understand. We have cell phones. We have cell phones that have all type of apps, and it can tell your blood pressure, your heartbeat, and everything else, and all this other crazy things. What's going on with technology in the aerospace industry? Something's just not adding up here. I mean, we're all really just getting tired of hearing these stories of loss of life due to an aircraft. Again, are these stories, are planes going down all of the time and they just don't make it to national news? That happens locally somewhere in a city around the United States, but it's not making it to the national news. You gotta understand the national news has big influence. When it's on national news, everyone sees it and also ends up on social media. What is really going on here? Let's look at this next one. This is out of Alaska.
We're learning more tonight about the people on board that Bering Air flight that crashed not far from Nome, Alaska, killing 10 people. The NTSB is now investigating what went wrong. Dana Griffin has the latest.
Now, recovery efforts are still underway, with the priority being victim recovery. Then we will recover the wreckage.
Tonight, NTSB Chair Jennifer Hominy in Alaska investigating the Bering Air Flight 445 plane crash that left all 9 passengers and the sole pilot dead. But there are challenges.
We do have a short window where we have weather, bad weather coming in, some snow. This is on an ice flow, which is moving about 5 miles a day.
The Cessna Grand Caravan took off Thursday afternoon from Unalakleet, heading northwest to Nome.
Bering Air 445, check your altitude immediately.
Just 12 miles offshore, the plane vanished amid freezing temperatures and snow. According to the Nome Fire Department, the pilot told air traffic controllers he intended to enter a holding pattern while waiting for the runway to be cleared. Co-workers Rome Baumgartner and Cameron Hartvigsen were among those on board on a trip to service critical infrastructure. Their organization writing that they made a lasting impact on rural communities across our state. This is the third major aviation disaster in a little over a week. In Washington, 67 were killed when an American Eagle jet and an Army Black Hawk helicopter collided. Days later in Philadelphia, a medevac jet crashed, killing 7. In Alaska, loved ones now waiting for answers in yet another heartbreaking aviation tragedy. Dana Griffin, NBC News.
This is tough. Again, this is putting fear into people to not want to fly because of all of this. That's, the plane crashes are truly happening. I mean, this is putting fear into people when they continuously see all of these this is putting fear into people when they continuously see plane crashes all over the news. Why would somebody want to fly after seeing all these crashes that are happening? You have the small Cessnas crashing. You have the larger passenger planes crashing. This is like a frequency of fear, low vibration, and the frequency is just way down there. Why did they continue to put this onto the news? My real question is the media, the news, it's a business, right? But why continue to bring the people's vibration down? You don't have to report on this. Report on something good. That's the thing that people have been talking about for like decades. Something like this will hop onto the news quickly, but somebody doing something good around the community, it's not being aired. It's not newsworthy. This is crazy. This is out of hand. Let's watch another one. This is out of the Philippines involving 4 U.S. military servicemen killed in a routine mission. Check this out.
A deadly plane crash involving the U.S. military in the Philippines.
And last week's aviation tragedy in Washington may lead to a review of the air traffic control system. Anthony Antoine in the studio with a breakdown.
Yeah, Caroline and Rashi, 4 people are dead after a plane crash in the Philippines here today. One U.S. service member and 3 defense contractors were on board. The plane was conducting a routine surveillance mission according to the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command. And U.S. forces have been in the southern portion of the country for decades now, providing advice and training to Filipino forces battling Muslim militants. The cause of the crash still under investigation. And after last week's tragic plane collision that took 67 lives, attention is turning to our country's air traffic control systems. The crash happened just a few days after the system used to send pilot safety alerts went down. Both President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance say the equipment is outdated, and Elon Musk has now volunteered to, quote, make rapid safety upgrades to the system. But Democrats push back on that idea.
It's a clear conflict of interest, and Secretary Duffy should make sure that Mr. Musk is not part of the FAA air transportation system. He has been fined for violations.
Wow, that's interesting. The part at the end there involving Elon Musk and the FAA. We've got to really pay attention to what's going on here. You've got to really pay attention to what's going on. Everything that you hear, everything that you see is just not surface. What is this big idea about having Elon involved in all of this? You see how he's being strategically placed different places. It seems like he's under different rules per se. I don't want to say laws, but different rules. Like I seen something, I think, on the news earlier where he doesn't have to disclose his financials, his personal financials and things like that. Be very careful and just start paying attention to what's going on here. Question everything. Never just watch something and say, oh, it's just another plane crash. Again, either it's just another plane crash, but at the same time it's loss of life, or plane crashes are always happening and we just don't hear about it. Question it, research it, keep your eyes open. You know, if you're susceptible to like lower vibrations, you got to just turn the TV off and skim over that on social media. You got to keep your mindset protected at all times. You know, I talk about mindset all the time, like protect yourself. Now, I used to live in the Philippines too. My dad was in the military. He was in the Air Force. So I lived in the Philippines. I love the Philippines. But check this one out right here. This is a video about a UFO taking over an aircraft. This is from the History Channel. Check this out.
After dropping off passengers at this seaport town on the Pacific coast, pilot Carlos de los Santos embarks on a return trip to Mexico City.
And then he looks over to his right and he sees another one. And then he looks ahead of them and there's one coming at him. It goes below his aircraft and he feels a bump under his aircraft. And he's scared out of his mind. Anyone would be. He then realizes that he's not really in control of his aircraft. His aircraft is moving in a way that seems to respond to these objects, not to him.
He goes to move the yoke, and the yoke is moving on itself. The plane starts climbing to 3,000 meters. That's the ceiling of the Piper. If it climbs any further, it will stall out. He will lose control. The plane will fall out of the sky.
Now you're bringing in the aspect of unidentified flying objects being involved with other aircrafts that are ours, man-made aircrafts. What is really going on out here? Something to be questioned. Are they cyber attacks from other countries? Is it our country doing a false flag operation where they know that they're taking down civilian lives, but it's for their demonic and evil causes? What is it? Something to be thought about. Make sure that you keep your eyes open at all times. Drop your own comments down below. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Fly a kite, be free, and keep winning. What's up, family? I remember manifesting a broken foot as a kid. It was the first thing I remember manifesting, just thinking about it. I wanted it so bad. I seen other kids at school with the broken foot. I started imagining myself with that cast, and I wanted to cast so bad that I ended up manifesting a broken foot. Let me explain something to you. You can manifest good things, you can manifest bad things, you can manifest adverse things, and manifest great things. It's the same type of formula that works no matter what. Whatever you want to manifest, you can manifest it. It doesn't take forever. I know some of y'all are tired of praying and it's just not being answered. It's taking forever. Some of y'all write stuff down as affirmations, doing vision boards, and it's just taking forever. Let me explain something to you. I have a 7-step manifestation blueprint guide. I should charge for it, but it is free. Make sure you go down to the show notes, click that link, and download it ASAP. Go down to the show notes and click that link ASAP to download it. You could also go to the mindsetblueprint.com/blueprint. Again, that is the mindsetblueprint.com/blueprint. I want everybody to win, because guess what? I now know how to manifest in seconds to days to minutes to hours quickly. It doesn't take long at all. I got a 7-step blueprint that you guys will all benefit from. Make sure you go down and download it right now. Keep winning.